Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm back. This is Matt with Vetter Software. I'm Director of Client Development or some kind of lofty title like that. I appreciate everyone's time. And today we're going to cover or look at our new credit card integration, which I think, not only will bring more value to the product, but will hopefully save money for many of you. And then I'm also going to focus on, after that's over, I'm going to focus on using the medical note as the central point of record keeping. I just do so many little training webinars every week with clinics. And one of the biggest things I find is that, and I'm going to mute some people here. Sorry, I'm muting everybody. One of the biggest things I find is that clinics, everyone knows how to add a medical note, but there are efficient ways to use it and inefficient ways. So that will be the second half of the demo. Right now I'm going to do a screen share. So you should see my Vetter Software calendar here. And this is my engineering QA, which is what I'm going to use to show the credit card integration, okay? And so some things in here may not look the same just because there's a lot of engineering gibberish. So please excuse that. But this is where we have the integration live for demo purposes. So one of the first things you'll notice is in settings. And I'm sorry, I'm going to mute people. So if everyone gets a chance, please make sure you're muted because the background noise makes it difficult for everyone else. You can always write in chat questions, please, if you can. And at the very end, then we can turn on the mics, okay? So under settings here, under extensions, okay, you will see the Card Connect integration. Now, one of the things, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to bounce back between two accounts here, just because we have different demo accounts. In your account, you would see this. You'll see under extensions, you will see Card Connect integration and the Stripe or authorized net integration. Now, literally, Stripe and authorized.net will nickel and dime you to death, as we have discovered, as they do to us also, okay? And this is the main reason why we decided to move forward with Card Connect. As you can see, these were costs that we were literally passing on that they were imposing upon us. And what you see here, it's included in Vetter. That means no extra fees or charges. In the interest of full disclosure, yes, does Card Connect pay us a percentage behind the scenes? Yes, they do. But that doesn't affect you guys. I mean, I just want to be fair and honest. Yes, obviously we make some money off this. This is a business. But the nice part is we can offer it for free to our client base. The other thing is Card Connect, as a Vetter client, they will meet or beat any existing rate you have from a payments provider. Now, we have had behind the scenes, we've already had 38 clinics in the last month sign up, even before we announced the integration. Just people calling me up saying, hey, what's in the pipeline? And everybody has been literally happy as a lark because of the savings and then the value it adds to using features in Vetter. The other thing that Card Connect will also provide, they will provide you with free terminals should you want those with an annual agreement, okay? Now, after the integration, I will show you their landing page if you're interested in following up, okay? So this is what you guys see here. And then to enable it, I'm going to jump to my engineering account here, sorry. And you'll see here, once you're approved by Card Connect, it will then be turned on automatically in your product. And you'll see here, manage keys. And they're going to give you a merchant ID number. You put it in, boom, right, it's ready to go. Now, what will automatically happen once it's turned on and approved with the merchant ID, you will see under payment types, new payment types here, you will see Card Connect, right? Card on file, key in, or terminal, okay? And key in represents the first time you're using it. And so those will automatically show up. Whether you use the terminal or not, these will automatically show up. So just don't worry about it. And if you want to, right, you can always move this to the top here, right, as your primary payment source. Makes it easier when you're collecting payment, okay? Got to put this back so the engineers don't get mad at me. Another thing you'll then see, if you ever want to check if the terminals are online, if you're using terminals, you come here and say View Devices. And this will show our active Abaxis integrations and the Card Connect terminal, right? And it may take, and I'll just give you a heads up, when you do this, this will take a little bit of time to run. It'll take longer to load than what I did here because we're offline here. Because once they're online, then, right, the software is pinging Card Connect. So it takes maybe 10, 20 seconds. So just be aware of that. And this will let you always know, hey, online, offline. Okay? Now, the advantages to having the Card Connect integration are multiple. One is if you're on wellness plans, if you're using vendors' wellness plans, right? By being integrated with our payments provider, it will then bill, auto bill, right, every client every month. So you don't have to worry about billing. 1 week prior to the subscription, their subscription renewal date, so let's say they signed up on January 24th, on February 17th, an invoice is created, put in the client financial history or billing history, and their account is charged, and the money ends up in your account. Very easy. The two other big values are then the ability for your clients to pay invoices online. And I will show you that in a moment. And the other big one, right, of course, is collecting payment and having the card stored within Vetter, right, so that you don't have to key this in the future. So let me show you how that works. I'm going to pause quickly for any questions. Nope, no one has sent any in. That's good. I must be making sense, or it's easy, one of the two. And we'll go to billing here. And in billing, I'm going to grab a couple open invoices. All right. So I'm not going to key my card in, I realize, in front of you. My wife would yell at me for doing that. But let's just take this one right here. Let's say we were doing this for the first time. You come here, you hit payment, new payment, right? And we're going to select the type here. And the first time in, I hit Card Connect key in, right? And I hit next. And then you're going to ask for your client's card number the first time. Month, year required, month, year, and the security code. And then you click Save Card as Payment Method. Now it's stored in the system forever. Now, if you want to go ahead and then have them sign for it, right, you can use the little Etch-a-Sketch thing here, right, and, you know, it's a little tough to use, or you could type it in, right, very easy. Or, I'm going to be honest, a lot of clinics don't even bother with signing, but that's a question of, that's up to you how thorough you want to be. Now that card, do it once, is stored in. Now, moving forward, what's nice about this, and I'm going to use an invoice I created, is the ease of checkout. So I come here, and my full name is Matthias Zahner. I had to do that for the card, so that's me. You guys all know me as Matt. And I come here, and I say, new payment, and my card has already been entered. So now I say card on file. And then notice it recognizes me right away. There it is. Last 4 digits are right there of my MasterCard. And boom. You hit next. And I hit save. And the payment, you're done. And so I need to mute people. Sorry. I need to mute people. It's really loud. Sorry about that. Okay. And I had a couple questions come in, so let me answer these questions here from chat. Okay. For those of us on mobile, does Card Connect work over Wi-Fi? Yes, it does. It's integrated fully with Invetter, so no problem at all. How do you get the Card Connect payment type to come up? Well, I hopefully I just showed that to you. The Card Connect payment type, once the integration is activated, then it will automatically appear. It is, you do not need an Ethernet. You do not need, okay, well, so let me answer these questions. So the Card Connect payment types will appear in payment types once the integration's been activated. You do not need Ethernet because Ethernet only is needed for a terminal. If you're going to use the key-in process, right, then you don't need Ethernet. So if you're going to key the card in, like I just showed everybody here, and let me, close the chat screen. If you use the key-in process, that is done wirelessly. You don't need that. Another thing, too, is Card Connect, there was some confusion about this. They accept debit cards, right? So some clinics have been saying, hey, how come we can't do debit? So I want to give a complete explanation. For financial institutions, and I don't make these rules, so for financial institutions under $1 billion in assets, and we're talking about that means a really small local, credit union. You need a key-in process. You need to put in like your 4-digit, security code for the debit card. Those are banking rules that are above and beyond my pay grade. Now, fortunately, almost every financial institution out there has over $1 billion in assets, right? Once they have home loans, they have that $1 billion essentially rather quickly. So any of the major providers in any medium to large size credit union or S&L, right, is going to have the ability, is going to meet that criteria, so you can use debit cards too. I just wanted to address that. There were a number of other questions. Let me check on those right now. Sorry. My Card Connect is activated, but it's not giving me the option for Card Connect on file or Card Connect key-in. I'm sorry, I can't speak to that. This is from City Pets. Could you give Card Connect a call or our support a call? At 8444-VETTR. I don't know why that's happening. I apologize. But please call our support or Card Connect. What about PCI compliance? I know they charge more if you store a credit card. So this meets all legal compliance standards. I was asked, I know they charge more if you store credit cards in the system. No, they don't, at least in the deals that we've been working with Card Connect. Card Connect, again, will meet or beat your existing payment provider rates. The negotiations that you have with them, right, is independent from us. We wanted to stay out of that, right, and just provide the best service possible. It is fully compliant with all banking regulations and credit card and personal consumer information regulations. So I appreciate those questions. Is there a signature pad available for this feature? No, there is not. But people can just sign if you have a tablet. So let me back up. I'm sorry. If you have a terminal, if you're a brick and mortar clinic and have a terminal, it has a signature pad right on there. It's just like going to the the grocery store. You put your card in, and then they ask you to sign. Now, if you're not using the terminal and you're using the key-in option, okay, I'm going to show you this again. And I come here and I sit key-in, and I have a tablet. Right now, I have a laptop, so you can't draw it with a finger. But if you have a tablet, you can hand that tablet to your client, and they can use a stylus or their fingertip and just sign it right here. right? So again, the terminal has its own native signature pad. If you're using a keypad, I'm sorry, if you're using a tablet like an iPad or a laptop, you can do exactly what I did, or you can it to your client and they can do it. So we're trying to meet both possibilities there, okay? I know there were more questions, so let me jump back to the questions here. Make sure I've answered them all. Signature pad, yes. Compliance, is there a terminal involved? Okay, again, and as I mentioned earlier, you may have the option to get a terminal. Card Connect will provide those for free with an annual agreement. Okay, so that's another deal we negotiated for our clients. So free terminals. You have to have an annual agreement with them, and that's something that you can then take care of with Card Connect. Does the terminal connect to an iPad then? No, it does not connect to an iPad. Again, the terminal is a freestanding device, just like you go to this, right? You go to Starbucks, put your card in, right? And if you need to sign, you sign there on the spot. Or like you go to the grocery store, you sign on the terminal. If you're using the key-in option, then you have an iPad. You can use the iPad independent from the terminal. So of the clinics that are already using it in Vetter, I'll tell you half use terminals, half don't. It's entirely up to you how you want it to work within your clinic flow. Okay, and let me show you one other feature where it's advantageous, especially for, I would say, our mobile vets. Let me show you the pay now. Wait, another question. Sorry. Can you swipe the card with a terminal the Card Connect provides? So, great question. Now, Card Connect is developing a swiper option for us, specifically for us. So, you know how like Square has that little sorry, I'm sorry, I've been told that, sorry, I made a mistake. I've been told that, my mistake. Card Connect is presently not developing a swiper option like this little Square readers you have. So for mobile clients, I apologize for the mistake. For mobile clients, it's the key-in option, and that's worked very successfully. People said they lost me. Am I? Sorry. Okay, so okay, right. So Card Connect. So understand this. Good. People can hear me again. So let's understand this. Card Connect, the mobile swiper is not integrated with Vetter. So they do have one, but it doesn't integrate with Vetter. The reason is because we can't speak to that, right? In other words, that's a local device. There's no way for us to access that technologically for the time being. Maybe in the future it'll happen. But yes, they do have a mobile swiper, just not integrated with Vetter. And thank you, Dr. Harstad, for elaborating on that. I just want to make sure everyone understands the ins and outs. Okay? And clearly a swiper is easier to use. But of course, it won't be integrated with Vetter. So one other advantage I wanted to show you guys is with sending a invoice. The other advantage of the integration would be as follows. I'm going to email an invoice here to myself. And let me open this up right here. And I'm going to go ahead and export the invoice to myself. And I'm going to go to my Vetter Gmail account right now. And here's my invoice right here. Okay. And click this view your invoice. And now with the credit card integration, you have the ability to pay now online, right? So your clients can just click pay now, right? Up comes the card information, hit pay now, done, your account is credited. So again, to repeat, the ability to manage wellness plans payments, the ability to pay online, and also to store the card numbers within Vetter becomes valuable tools to the integration. And I fully recognize how in the past, it might not have been enticing to use because, of course, there were these extra fees. But now it being free to use within Vetter and with Card Connect's promise to meet or beat existing payment provider rates, I think this is going to be a great money saver for our client base. And if you're interested in, and let me close these here, I'm going to show you the landing page for Card Connect, and I'll put it up on the chat in just a moment. And here is specifically cardconnect.com. I'll put this on the landing page right now, where you can sign up right now, or as many of you have done, you have contacted me and I put you in touch with my counterpart. His name's Joseph Summers at Card Connect, and he will go ahead and reach out to you. Let me copy paste this address and put it in the chat window right now. Okay. Joseph is awesome. Thank you, Dr. Harstadt. How do you see the clients paid online? The question is, okay, a few questions. Will I get an email when an owner has paid their invoice online? No. In Card Connect itself, if you'll look at your Card Connect account, and they have a dashboard, and you can look there to see when the invoices are paid. You will not get a separate email. Just like somebody asked, how do you see if the client is paid online? Card Connect and their dashboard will tell you that. Question is, we get a free terminal from Card Connect, but there will be no paper printout for clients to sign. To the best of my knowledge, and again, I'm not the master of Card Connect. I wish I was, though. They got a good business going. The clients will sign on the terminal, on the pad itself. So, and then that would then spit out a piece of paper for the client, right? So when I go to the grocery store, like I said, most credit card terminals, you sign with a stylus pen on the terminal, and then it prints out a paper receipt, okay? I have to be honest, though, I'm only 99% certain I might be missing something from the Card Connect perspective, but the client, it works like any other terminal. And I just, again, because I have not used it in person, because I'm not on the customer side of things, and I apologize for that. But Joseph is great, and he will answer any specifics you have on that. So I hope
co-laser none of that's really going to help on the status.
Sorry, I need to mute people.
But I told the doctor.
Okay, sorry about that. Right now, are there any other Card Connect questions? And I appreciate the help from some of you guys out there that corrected me with a swiper. I just wasn't. I might have missed. I missed something there. So again, the swiper, right? They have one, but it does not integrate to Vetter. I missed something. Can we send a link from Card Connect for clients to pay online? Yes, you can. This is I showed everybody. Look, I don't have the terminal. So let me back up and let me show how to pay online again, right? So if I go to any invoice right here, and I believe I just showed this to everyone, right? If I email any invoice, right here, I'm in billing. I open an invoice and I say export. I want them to pay online. I said email invoice. And I'm emailing it to myself, and I invoice emailed. I'm going to go to my Vetter Gmail account. And in here, here's invoice from Veteran Animal Hospital. And you'll see right here, click on your invoice. I open it up. There's a large Pay Now button here. And that's through Card Connect. And your client will enter their payment information. Boom, hit Pay Now and done. It will then show up in your Card Connect. You have a dashboard from Card Connect that records all payments, and it'll tell you if it was a debit card payment, a credit card payment, online, what have you, and it will show up there. So I hope that I was able to clarify that. Let me briefly address the next level of questions. Okay. I don't have somebody asked about the terminal workflow. Okay. Again, Card Connect will be able to help that with you, but imagine just any terminal that you use at a store, right? You walk up, they have a terminal. You put your card in it, you sign on the spot, and the terminal issues a receipt. And again, the terminal is optional, but that also is integrated into Vetter. Somebody had a question about costs. Yes, please contact me offline. Will the email say it's coming from our clinic or from Vetter? Well, the email will say it's coming, so the email will say it's coming from you. Now, we send out emails asking clinics to cut over, right? So when you first sign up for Vetter, your email address will say Vetter Software. But if you want, right, the email to say your clinic, which absolutely we can set up for you. We have to do that through Amazon Web Services. Please contact our support. It's a process that takes a matter of minutes, and we can do that for you. So the email, if you have the account set up properly, and we can help you with that, the email will say it's coming from, City Cats Hospital or local mobile vet or clinic XYZ. Another question, once the payment is put online, will it automatically put in the payment on Vetter and zero out their balance owed? Yes, it will. So that's nice. It'll take that out. On our open invoices page on Vetter, once a client is paid online, will it continue to show as an open invoice in Vetter? No, it won't. So that's the beauty of the integration. The integration will then close the invoice for you. And so that's really, I understand that anything new, right? Going to be a lot of questions for, but think of this as a way to streamline your software, to streamline your practice flow. You're simply going to have to use less clicks with the integration, because it will automatically update billing. Will it automatically send a receipt to the client? No, it will not. It will not do that. It will not automatically send the receipt if you're using the pay online thing. Now, the client will get a confirmation, right? I'm not going to put, so for example, let me stop here. I'm not going to put my credit card information here to pay, but if I hit Pay Now, it's going to flash up and say, payment confirmed, transaction number, XYZ. That's the client will have that confirmation. If you independently want to send a receipt, you may do so. Okay. But that only applies for the online payments. And let me see, I know there were some more questions. And well, great. So it looks like I got everybody's questions answered. I hope so. And I apologize again. I'm not the master of all things Card Connect. I hope so, though. I want to be. But call me, call Joe and once you speak with Joseph is absolutely great. The guy at Card Connect. He's my counterpart there. He will walk you through this. They'll mail you the terminals if you choose to use those. All in all, I can only report back what I've heard from the 38 clinics. It's been a resounding success so far. And the options will only become greater in terms of what they are able to build and that what we're able to offer to you guys. Okay? So again, I've recorded all of this, and this will be available for everybody on the customer community. I'm going to go ahead and shift over right now to the looking at medical notes portion of the webinar. Okay. I'm going to stop though if there's any other questions. Oh, we got one. Yay. I like this. City Pets, thank you. Note the all caps, very excited. Thank you. Go City Pets. Like I said, I've just heard great things about this. And look, again, in the interest of full transparency, I never heard this about Authorize.net. I never heard this about Stripe or other payment integrators. We were led down a false path by those two companies. I'm going to say it openly. They promised us everything, and we never heard great things. With Card Connect, they've been an absolute pleasure to work with, entirely transparent. They're owned by First Data, by the way, which is a multi-billion-dollar company. So they're incredibly well-funded. The process is well-engineered, and they're transparent. And that's the most important thing. You're not going to suddenly be nickel and dime to death like Authorize.net literally does. And we apologize for those past, experiences. And we hope with Card Connect we can provide a better experience for everyone. And so thank you, everybody, for this portion. I'm going to go ahead and move forward to the medical note portion right now, okay? So let me get rid of these couple things here. I'm going to use, here we go. Let me close the other windows. Oops, no, this is what I want to be in, okay? The other one was the engineering account. Okay, so when people add medical notes, and I'm going to go to one of my little favorite patients. Some of you all see me use him, Azrael from the Smurfs, because who doesn't love Azrael? And please ignore his many, he's been over-vaccinated. Sorry about that. Now, there are multiple ways in which we can create a medical note, right? People add medical notes either time of check-in or they add them independently to the patient. Now, whatever method works best for you, it's okay. So, right, I can come to the patient screen here, and I can hit New Record, Medical Note, right? Or I can go to the schedule and to the time of check-in. And if I make a quick sample appointment here, bear with me as I make a quick sample appointment. I'm just gonna breeze through this very quickly. And I go to check in Azrael right here. It gives me the option to create a medical note at the time of check-in. Okay. Now, in a perfect world, this is the best way to do this. But I understand clinics have their own processes. Okay. Now, on that note, though, this was my tip of the week. When you do check in, if you don't want to add a medical note, that's okay. But check in with an invoice, because this is an aside. This is my tip of the week, because the invoice then allows you to check the client out. And it also means referral sources will be generated in our referral source summary report. Unless an invoice is tied to, let's say right here, referred by Papa Smurf, unless an invoice is connected with the time of check-in, the software doesn't know that that is tied to the referral source. Okay, just so everyone's aware of that. But again, you can create the medical note here. That's what I prefer. Some clinics say, well, we don't want our front desk receptionist to do this. That's fine. Just have the technician or the doctor technically, quote unquote, check the client in, right? But regardless of where you add the medical note, if you add it here or you add it within from the patient screen, I want to encourage everybody to invoice or add charges directly from the note. So let's create a medical note here, and I'll show you why. I'm going to grab a basic soap here, Boom, boom, boom. And I'm gonna mute some people here. Sorry, I still need to. Okay, thank you very much. Oops, let me close this here. Okay, and I just chose a basic soap. I'm the provider here. Complaint optional, I hit save. Now, the advantage of doing this in terms of record keeping, it's the organization and neatness process essentially, is if I come here and I want to add my charges, and a lot of clinics, right, they just go directly to billing and add charges individually and create invoices from there. And you can do that, but that means then the software doesn't know this is tied to the medical note, right? And when you're viewing the patient record, I always say, when I talked, in other words, pause for a joke here. When I'm thinking of eating a piece of pizza at midnight, and I know I shouldn't, but I want to, I say to myself, what will future Matt say the next morning? Future Matt knows that's a bad idea. Think of what will future, DVM say if I do the medical note correctly and the charges correctly. It'll make record keeping and record accessing that much easier. So let's add a bundle here just to show you. Right, I'm just going to grab a feline wellness or annual exam here, bundle. No problem. I'm going to create a new invoice for the demo purposes. I hit next. Here's my bundle. I hit create. And now these charges are then tied to the medical note, right? And if I then, for example, so if I jump to Azrael here, I look at Azrael's record, right? And now look at this record here. And notice how it's referenced here. Reference, medical note, reference, invoice. Everything ties together. So if I'm viewing this, it makes it pretty clear. So like last night, for example, I did this in advance of the demo. I created a separate invoice for Bordadella, right? But it's not tied to a medical note, so this is a kind of a one-off here, right? If you can do it through the medical note, it makes everything nice. Boom, invoice, medical note. Everything is neat and in one spot. Now, let's talk about letters. I could add a letter directly from the patient screen. I could add that same letter from the client screen, but again, then the software doesn't know it's tied to the medical note. You have to do this extra step. For example, let's just say it's a exam discharge letter. And you notice the extra step. Oh, I could tie it to today's medical note, but again, it's an extra step. If you are going to do it this way, tie it to the note, tie it to the note. But much easier way to do this is, right, to go to that medical note and do it from here. Okay? So if I come to here and I hit documents and I hit new letter, and let's do that exam discharge, boom, and the owner is Mr. Gargamel. I hit save, okay, and I'm not going to go, here's a simple letter just to show you, but notice reference, it's in the medical note. Connect things. So now if I'm accessing this medical note in the future, oh, what were the records? Oh, I could see them here. I remember I could still add things. I could add new charges, new labs if I wanted to. What letters were here? Oh, okay, I see. This went with this medical note. And even further, if I wanted to take pictures, if you have a tablet, right, all tablets have the ability to take pictures, right? And you could just hold a tablet up, take a picture of the client. Maybe they have a cut over their eye, or they're limping, or maybe you want to post a video. You can do this. And I hit new attachment, and I can then instantly upload, right, from my desktop. Oops, sorry, those are my order forms, but I have a claim form here with TSA. We'll see if that goes anywhere. And I hit this, and all of a sudden, imagine these were pictures, right? I go ahead and, there it is. It would be tied to, right, the medical note. I don't think I'm going to win my TSA claim. Now, right, letters are here. Pictures are here. You can even put videos are here, right? So then if I come to the patient record, and I'm looking at this in the future, again, always think of future DVM, right? What's going on? I come here and I go, oh, medical notes, boom, boom, boom. I also come here and I take a look at, let's view our letters. And Azrael has, I think, 1,000 letters, so it takes a moment to load. So I beg your understanding. And notice here, oh, exam discharge letter tied to the medical note, right? It's just going to make record keeping neater. Now, other things, I'm just going to give you an example. I'm going to show you my attachments I have for Azrael. And I really should delete my personal. I have a claim with Delta Airlines too. Let me delete those there. Now, other things, for example, notice here, I have images, right? But they're not tied to anything. So cool, I have an analog image, great. But I don't know what that's tied to. I can even take videos, right? And this is our mascot, Daisy. It's a very funny video, so indulge me. She comes to the office a lot. It's like, really, dog? Adorable. But all these things can be tied to the note, thus creating more efficiency and better record keeping. So as you can see here, they're not. So whenever you get a chance, stay in that note, right? And in that note, go ahead and add the letters, add the attachments to there. Because then when you view communication history on the client side, also everything will remain there. Okay? I'm going to pause for questions very quickly, see if there's any. No. And this this is straightforward, but I'm really trying to emphasize best practices because a lot of clinics do this. And they come here to billing, right? And let's say the doctor might write the charges down, the tech might write the charges down, or they on a piece of paper. After the fact, they do this, right? They do new invoice, right? And, and they go ahead and they add everything. And I get this. And you can still, and if you're going to do this, right? Again, it's more clicks, but if you're going to do this, connect it to the medical note. Aha, today's medical note, right? It makes sense. And at least then, for future record keeping purposes, it makes life a little easier. Now, there are going to be times, the only time I wouldn't use the medical note is, right, client comes in after work. Oh, I got to pick up a prescription of, right, cephalexin or amoxicillin, and they're just coming in to pick something up. Yeah, you don't need to create a medical note. And you can just add the item here and collect payment. But if you're able to, at the time of creating the invoice, right, if you're able to, and I'm going to delete this invoice here, if you're able to, at the time of invoice, be able to connect it, right? In other words, hey, oh, you were in here, when were you in here last, Mr. Gargamel? Oh, I was in here yesterday, and I was with, Dr. Lisa or Dr. Stacy. Oh, you saw him on what day? January 23rd. Make the extra effort and connect it. Because now in the patient record, it'll show, oh, this refill prescription. Oh, when did you first get this? Oh yeah, I was prescribed refills from, and again, no client's gonna have this many medical notes, right? It's just me. It might be from January 10th. And it just makes, then when you access the patient record, it just makes life a lot easier. And I realize I'm not teaching anything new in terms of functionality. I'm just really trying to emphasize neat, tidy record keeping because I do 5 to 6 trainings a week with clinics, and this is one of the first things. They're like, hey, the records are disjointed. I don't know what that invoice was referring to. Do everything out of the medical note, okay? Because also, right, in the medical note, right, hey, let's add a new vital, for example, right? Clinics will add vitals independently to the patient record. Yeah, we have that opportunity. I mean, for example, your mom walks in At the end of the day with her cat, well, mom's might not need a medical note. You're just doing something off the charts or off the books a little bit for a friend of yours. Yeah, maybe you just go to the patient side and enter things independently. But from a professional perspective, tie everything to the medical note, tie your labs, right? We provide you the opportunity to do it independently here for edge cases, right? I can still do this right here, new vital, right? New lab, new medical note, etc. New diagnoses, but tie them to the medical note. And again, if you're wondering where the medical note diagnoses are available, when you're creating them, the assessment part will always have the diagnoses. So do it from the medical note. I know I sound like a broken record, but I was a teacher for 20 years, and I try to just drive the point home. I think I've made this point. I'm going to pause for a couple questions here. Good. Can you go back to associate a letter or image with a medical note? Or how do you enter let me show you that. That was from Dr. O'Brien. I'll show you that. Then Dr. Harstead asked, how do you enter the weight into a medical note? Right here, when I create the medical note for the first time, I choose which vitals want to be in there. And so I can put 11 pounds here, right? And this will then automatically show up in Azriel's history. If I go here and I say view vitals and I view weight, right? Oh, here it is, 11 pounds, right? Tied to the medical note. Let me show you really quickly where that is created in templates. View medical notes. Oh, sorry. New template. Just call it sample. And boom, medical note. I hit save. And when you create your medical notes, and again, entirely up to you what you want to do. But under assessment, I like to always include, right, diagnoses. And then under objective, where it says vital signs, as many, right, or as few as you want. And, if you want, for example, weight to be the most important thing you find out first, right, then, move weight to the top. You can move everything around, okay? So I hope that helped right there. Let me jump really back to the question, which is a very good question. Dr. Harstead, got it, cool. How can you go back to associate a letter with an image with a medical note? So let's find out. And that's a great question because I see some of you wanting to do that now. So let me jump back here to Azriel's profile. And by the way, these same letters that appear here also appear on the client communication side. So let's take a look at those. Take a look at an image here. And again, if you have 10,000 letters, it takes a while to load. So here's an unassociated exam discharge letter, okay? And I go ahead and hit edit letter. And so here's the problem, right? Notice it's looking, what should I reference it to? And I hit edit letter, but notice this. Now I can root back and do it. So I was doing a little bit of discovery right there. I knew the answer, but I wanted to show you. So that's a neat little trick. So you can go back and do this, but it will take a couple extra clicks. But again, just to show you, let's go back and show you this. I'm going to save changes, which is none. Okay. So again, I click on the gear icon right here. I'm coming back to letters, or even let's say images. Let's take a look at attachments. I click I want to include this, the video of the corgi. Edit attachment. And in this case, see, because this is this doesn't work the same because this is a MP4 file and won't work the same way. So videos and JPEGs, these are different files that we don't have the ability yet to do this, okay? Now, it's something we will build in the future, but not yet. But letters, just because there's a lot of engineering involved with images and videos. But for letters, absolutely. Since those are text files, it's much easier for us. In other words, it's part of the software, right? Our letter templates are, versus MP4s and JPEGs are not. So no problem. I come back to here. I do edit letter. Again, I come to edit letter again, and I go to reference, and then I choose the medical note. Okay? So that's been a request from people, and it's something we plan to build. I'm going to say it's not a priority, though, to be able to reassign the videos and pictures. And that's simply because it's honestly a fair amount of engineering, but we plan to do it. Okay? I am going to pause one more time for questions. Looks like no questions right now. Please let me know if you have any other questions. You can unmute yourself and ask me via mic right now. Otherwise, I will sign off, and I will post the video a little bit later today in the customer community. And let's see, what else good things do we have coming up? Next week, I will be reviewing the email templates again, because that's a brand new feature. And I'll also be reviewing our other integrations again, which are our client portal integration with PawPrint and our online booking integration with Vetstoria. Okay, one last check for questions. And I thank everybody for your time and appreciate your patience with me kind of wading through the Card Connect things. I will become an expert at them soon. And if any of you guys are going to NAVC in Orlando, we will be there. Come by and harass me and my CEO, Sagi Solomon, or the very least, get some free training from us. And I'll even buy you an adult beverage, okay? Thanks a lot, everyone. Take care and have a good day. Bye-bye.